Hi, I'm Tommy Chasnoff, Sports Information Director at University of Cumberland and NAIA CITA Board Liaison for the Stats, Awards, and Honors Committee.
I'm Bo Kidd. I'm the Assistant Sports Information Director here at the University of the Cumberlands, and I am a member of the Stats, Awards, and Honors Committee for the NAIA.
And today we are going to discuss statting women's lacrosse.
Here are some of the most common questions about women's lacrosse statistics keeping. Question number 1. For someone covering women's lacrosse for the first time, what setup do you recommend, including statistics, callers, and transcribers? A 2-man crew is necessary for women's lacrosse, but a 3-man crew is preferred. Your first person should be your statistical inputter on a computer. The second person, a caller that understands the sport effectively, possibly a junior varsity player, and a writer for a third, if possible, to help if there are errors or things that need to be fixed that can be written down by hand. Your stat inputter needs to be quick on the keyboards and ensure that they are in a position so that they can see the entire field. If you are at field level, a pair of binoculars can be a lifesaver. Having other people in charge of the penalty box, substitutions, and shot clock are also beneficial during a women's lacrosse match.
Question 2. What necessities or equipment should you bring with you in case of emergency? It is advised to have paper and pens available as a backup. Some schools have a second laptop set up for the same reason. If there's a mistake, write down the time so you can fix it later. If you use Presto Stats, it will automatically save your statistics up to the last point, so you won't lose your work.
Question number 3. What are the toughest parts of statting women's lacrosse, and how do you combat those issues? The toughest issue is the pace of the game. You can go a minute without action, but then have many things to input at once. Inputters must rely on their callers to make the calls. Your input person must learn the hotkeys, use tabs, and the enter key, especially with Dakstats. Your third person in your crew to write things down to fix is an absolute plus. If you have issues, you can always go back to change those later on. Substitutions can happen on the fly, so someone in charge of tracking those is also beneficial. Another issue is free position shots. Remember, only award a free position shot when a player takes a shot at the 8-meter line, not at the 12-meter line. Also, a free position shot should only be given if the player indeed tips the shot. If they pull out, there should be no shot awarded to that player. If there is a delay in your live stream, having an iPad nearby is beneficial as you can use it as a replay monitor for any questionable scoring issues. Women's lacrosse also uses a 90-second shot clock. It resets on change of possession or after a shot on goal. On draw controls, remember that the shot clock starts when a team gains possession. Also, as a shot clock operator, remember to always watch your head officials as they will help you in resetting of the shot clock.
Question 4. What are the key stats that are overlooked, and what stats do you see being miscredited the most? In women's lacrosse, the 3 stats that are most overlooked or miscredited are draw control, ground ball, and cause turnover. Note, there is no face-off in women's lacrosse. A draw control is only credited to the person who gains possession of the ball after the draw. A ground ball can only occur on change of possession or after a shot. Please note, if the ball goes out of bounds, no ground ball should be awarded. Also, if the goalie is not contested, there will be no ground ball awarded in those situations as well. Clears only count if the team gains possession behind the defensive restraining line and advances it into the attacking area. Also note that shot clock violation will be recorded as team turnovers, which would be a question mark in Dakstats. Another thing to be aware of is a caused turnover should only be credited when a player's action directly leads to the turnover. Another important note of stats in women's lacrosse is green, yellow, and red cards. If the yellow card is administered, it is a releasable penalty. However, a second yellow card on a player, or if the team tallies 4 or more yellow cards, then it becomes a non-releasable penalty. Please note, a second yellow card on an individual player will result in disqualification from the game. If a green card is administered, it is a 1-minute non-releasable penalty. If a red card is administered, it will be a 2-minute non-releasable penalty, and that player is disqualified from the game as well.
Question number 5. How easy is it to edit previous points in a contest? If you know of a play that needs to be edited later on in the game, make sure to jot down the time of the play that needs to be edited. You can always go back in Dakstats and change that easily by making the change, hitting enter, and then rebuilding stats. In Presto Stats, it's extremely easy to edit any play as well. Each play is assigned a number. If you mess it up, just jot down the number of the play and then go back to it at the conclusion of the half or at the conclusion of the game. This concludes our brief tutorial on women's lacrosse statistics.
If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me at thomas.chasnoff@ucumberlands.edu.
Or myself at bo.kid@ucumberlands.edu.
Thank you for watching and have a great day.